If you don't care what people think, you're willing to try something new. Maybe it's try to give a new speech. Maybe it's to try a new skill. I say embrace a challenge, stretch yourself. When I was in my 40s, I decided to try TaeKwonDo. Well, actually, my husband had bought me a membership as a gift because the rest of the family was doing TaeKwonDo. But I said yes, I would embrace this new challenge. Now, I might not have mentioned, I am not good at physical things. I'm pretty uncoordinated. I have bad spatial awareness. I still use a GPS to go to a lot of places, many times longer than other people would. So I'm in this Taekwondo class, and it really wasn't too bad because when we would do forms, that's when you do a series of set movements like you're fighting an invisible opponent. It's kind of like giving a speech with your body that you've practiced. I was in a group, so if I went the wrong way, I could quickly correct. All was well and good until the day the instructor said, "Today, we're going to do tournament style." What was that? I shortly found out that was doing our forms individually in front of the entire class. Kind of wish I could have disappeared right then. So I remember getting up, bowing, introducing myself, and starting my form. That was the best part. And then partway through, I took a left instead of a right, and I completely did not know what to do next. So I just stood there, and finally the instructor hopped up, turned me around, did a few moves with me, and I was able to finish. And I didn't die. It was like not that big a deal after all. I realized I didn't really care what people thought. And I just kept doing that for a few more years. And 4 years later, I earned my black belt in Taekwondo. A couple years after that, I got a second degree black belt. And it never really became any easier because I always faced the same limitations, but I kept thinking about the possibilities that I could do this. Now, embracing challenges can be addictive. Right after I got my black belt, I thought, I'm going to learn how to play piano. You can maybe even see the piano in the background. My kids were taking lessons, and I thought, I just wanted to learn piano. And again, it's kind of a physical challenge to get the left hand to do something while the right hand is doing something else. I would have to set up a metronome, 40 beats per minute, the slowest. Do my left hand, speed it up, then do the right hand, speed it up, then put it back to 40, do both hands together, speed it up to tempo, and finally I could get it. It was a tedious process, and especially frustrating when one of my children hardly had to practice, and he would just pick it up like that. But 9 months later, I sat in front of a piano at my very first and last piano recital. I was the only adult playing in the recital. And you know what? I didn't care. I was just going to do my best because it wasn't about my limits. It was about the possibilities. More recently, I've taken on wellness as a challenge, looking at sleeping better, eating better, and fitness. Now, no surprise, the fitness piece is the hardest piece. So I joined a gym, and I'm on the equipment doing things. And then sometimes people would come up to me, younger people who were in better shape than me and older people who were in better shape than me. And they would say, "You're on the equipment backwards." Okay, so I got a personal trainer 3 times a month. I don't sit on the equipment backwards anymore. And I started swimming a few months ago. I could barely swim 2 laps without stopping. And just last week, I went 40 minutes without stopping. I'm never going to be an Olympic swimmer. I'm just not quite that robust. But it's not about the limits you face. It's about the possibilities that you embrace.